Welcome back, world, to the Black Bookshelf Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Walker, back with the homie, Arthur, Marina K. How
What's
you
good,
feeling today?
y'all?
You feeling
I'm
good?
good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we got a new book review. This one became highly recommended. Really dope book called Dominion by Addie Citchens. The dope thing about this, she is a fellow Mississippian, as well as she went to our alma mater, Jackson State. So that's really dope. When I found that out, I was like, damn, I definitely got to check this book out. And Marina K, she put me on. She always, dropping the tidbits on the book recommendation. She real locked in. So yeah, we're gonna hop right on into it, man. This was a really dope book. How did you feel about it?
I really enjoyed this book. I feel like it touched on a lot. I'm ready to
Mm,
get into it.
most definitely. So um give y'all a short summary. Dominion is a fictional novel set in the fictional small town of Dominion, Mississippi, that centers on the powerful black family, the Winfrey family. And it also centers the hidden violence beneath their respected public image. Reverend Sabre Winfrey Jr., a charismatic pastor and influential community leader, appears successful and righteous, but exercises control with an iron hand. He and his wife, Priscilla, they raised five sons. Their youngest, Emanuel Wonderboy Winfrey, is adored for his athletic and musical abilities. His golden image his golden image conceals disturbing behavior and entitlement that mirrors his father's hypocrisy. When Wonder Boy's troubling actions escalate from following an encounter with a stranger, the consequences ripple throughout the community. The narrative largely from the perspectives of Priscilla, the wife of Pastor Winfrey, and Diamond, a young woman drawn to Wonder Boy, examines patriarchy, complicity, secrecy, and the ways religious authority and social power shield harmful behavior. Through intimate character studies, the novel critiques how communities enable everyday violence and silence that sustains it, while also showing how women navigate and ultimately challenge these structures. So that's a quick summary. We just gonna hop right on into it. Marina K, three things that you liked about this book, Dominion.
Okay, so I enjoyed the exploration of gender roles in the home and the church. I like that it was told from the point of view from the women. Priscilla and Diamond are basically trying to both break free from the men in their lives. And I like that it explores the repercussions of patriarchy.
Most definitely, definitely agree with all those. I would say three things that I liked about Dominion was being from Mississippi. I found it very relatable,
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of people from the Deep South, if you go to a church in the Deep South, or if you just in the community, living in the community of the Deep South, you hear these stories about certain pastors' families. They're often looked up on as a pedestal, but
Yeah.
but ultimately, these people are human with real human lives and real human problems. So I definitely found it relatable. Not that my family is in it, but I've seen so many different preachers' families or whatnot, preachers' kids or whatnot.
Yeah.
You
It's that
know,
Bible built culture.
that Bible Belt culture, and it's just so relatable being from the Deep South and Mississippi. So that's the first thing I liked about it. Um, Kind of piggybacking off the one of the things that you liked about it. Even though it was painful, I kind of enjoyed the maturation of Priscilla and Diamond. You
Hmm.
know, I feel like throughout the book, Priscilla was kind of she was already like there. She was on her wits end. Diamond,
It took us
some
some time.
it took her some time. Like she's just like high school girl, love struck, teenage fever, type shit. And it took her some time, but ultimately she got there. And third thing I liked was the overall thing that I like about a lot of these books is like what goes around comes around. You
Yeah.
know, you can't ultimately you can't you gonna reap what you sow. You can't escape if you don't get help, you know, if you don't get help fast enough, you can't escape what's going to ultimately hit you. You know,
Right.
so those are the three things I liked about Dominion. So give me three things that you didn't like about Dominion.
I didn't like Reverend Sabre Winfrey Jr. I wasn't a fan. Um, it's like he was a part of every aspect of the community. He owned a radio show. He owned the barbershop. They had properties that they owned as far as like housing, and then the church. And people were in love with him. And I feel like he leaned into being put on a pedestal. But in reality, you living wrong. You out here being foul. So I didn't really care for him. I don't like how Manny discarded Diamond, but that's just I feel like that's just how teen love is.
Oh yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
we don't realize that, this is not the end all be all. You feel like you in love with somebody and that's it. But I don't like the way he discarded her. I feel like he just threw her away like she was trash. And then I don't like how Manny's story ended. I don't want to give a spoiler, but I don't like how his story ended.
You know what? Yeah, I agree with that. I'm gonna give you my three things, then we're gonna get back to that point.
Okay.
Um, three things I didn't like about Dominion was, to me, I feel like it lacked the psychological depth of Wonderboy.
Hmm.
Like I feel like if they gave us some flashbacks to possibly him being some type of like physically and verbally abused by his father or his mother or something, would have gave me a little bit more depth, because I feel like he's being punished in a way, not, well, it's different. So it seemed like at one point he was being punished for having multiple girls in high school. But
Okay.
then once it ultimately got to the point that he was rapey and sexually assaulter, he was a rape person, he was a rapist, and he was a sexual assaulter. Then that part, most definitely, like, you like, oh, okay, I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't like that I feel like he should have been providing more context, even though I know the premise of the book is to write it from the female's point of view. I kind of feel like he didn't get enough character building, if it makes sense.
Okay.
I think Priscilla character lacked accountability for her whole household. Like, to me, she was just like, this is all your damn fault, when she a damn alcoholic and a pill head. You know
Yeah,
what
she
I'm saying?
fed up though.
Yeah, she fed up, but at the same time, like, bro, you ain't gonna. She literally was like, "I'm gonna move out. There's y'all shit now."
Yeah, but you gotta think about the structure of their household.
Yeah,
Like
most
it's
definitely.
she thinking, my husband's supposed to lead, my husband's supposed to do this, my husband she's leaning on him so much that
Yep,
she don't really know how to stand up for herself.
yep, and ultimately, even her standing up for herself is still in the ecosystem of her husband. Cause you
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna move out. Well, you moving into one of my houses that I pay for.
Right. Because I don't even know if, she co-owns these properties with him or
No,
if
she don't.
everything is just in his name.
Most definitely. Like, but even though, like, I just feel like she just lacked accountability. Like, I know she was at her wit's end,
Hmm.
but ultimately, like, um, I feel like, your father teach you how to treat women, but also your mother teach you how to treat women.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that come from both parents. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like she just didn't take no accountability. Like,
Because she had
and
this facade in her head that her boys were perfect.
and I
So
think
imagine finding out they not.
yeah. But shit, my thing is, when you find that they ain't perfect, shit, that's when the real parenting begin. Mind you, look, I only got a 2-year-old son. I don't have no teenager. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? So it is from the woman's perspective, but I just feel like, being an alcoholic and getting high all the time, you could be putting that energy into trying to figure out what's the root of the problem.
Yeah, what's going on with your boys?
Yeah, because I kind of feel like, from the first interaction between her, Emanuel, and Diamond, she should have been like, all right, let me figure out what's going on. She ain't really, try to go hard to figure out what was going on before it even got to how far it got. You see what I'm saying?
Because she was more concerned about protecting the family's reputation.
But that's the thing though. And that's the thing though. You pushing it when shit hit the fan, you pushing it all towards the father.
Mm-hmm.
But you see how this shit end. You lacked accountability. Everybody had their hand in on it. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And then to go back to like Manny's development, since it's told from the women's point of view, I think if we would have had more flashbacks of small stuff she noticed when he was a child, like the stuff with the dog, that was the only like flashback we had. If we would have had more flashbacks from her point of view of stuff that she had seen and like just swept under the rug, I think that would have added more to his character development.
Most definitely. But I also, it's a thing that I don't like about the book, but I feel like I started thinking about this book and I feel like a lot of things were kind of like meant to be understood without expressing too much, simply based off the premise of the secrecy and the complicity. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even with Emanuel, Wonderboy, and his supposed murder of Diamond's brother. Like nothing gives you information to say, oh, he did that.
Yeah, except for him stealing his notebook.
Yeah, but you still can't, you know what I'm saying? You still don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like ultimately.
It's like he a monster, but you ain't really got the proof.
Exactly. So it goes with, the secrecy of the community.
Right.
And the third thing I ain't like was I kind of is only from a women's perspective, but ultimately that's how the book was written. So that's how the author wanted to deliver it. They kind of go into, my point about Wonderboy's character development. I kind of wanted to, learn a little bit more about the pastor too. But, once again, only when written from the women's perspective, because it's literally a book about them breaking free from the shackles of patriarchy and the shit that come along with it.
Right.
So talk to me a little bit about your favorite scene in this book.
Not necessarily a scene. I think the favorite part I enjoyed was when Priscilla and Diamond were both able to secure their freedom, or what their idea of freedom was. When Priscilla was just like, you know what, I'm finna pack my shit and go. And even though she ended up staying, in her husband's house, to her that was a version of freedom. And then we know what Diamond did. I don't want to spoil the book because it will be telling what happened.
Book review though, so
I mean, some book reviews are spoiler free. Some of them have spoilers, but she got rid of that baby, and that was a version of freedom for her. So I liked, seeing them come to their version of freedom. That's what I liked the best.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think my favorite part is when Priscilla catches the Reverend cheating.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like, and I kind of feel like them, because if I'm not mistaken, he got caught in his barbershop, right?
Yeah, he was in the back of the barbershop.
He was in the back of the barbershop. None of them niggas did enough to stop her from going back there. Like,
they didn't care. They just let her go back there.
Yeah. Like, I was just sitting there thinking, like, what barbershop that a man would own that his workers would literally be like,
I said the same thing.
Oh yeah, he back there.
That's just not barbershop culture to me. Exactly. Unless they just some haters.
Yeah.
In a barbershop, the men would have been like, he not here, or hold up, let me go get him. They would have tried to delay her from getting back there.
Exactly.
They just let her go straight to the back.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I reread the part. I was just like, they literally did nothing. But it gave me a different perspective to be like, maybe those guys, like sometimes, when somebody holds that position of power, like he does in the community, like people get jealous and they be like, this motherfucker, he ain't perfect. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they like, oh
It could have
shit.
been it.
Yeah, like they like shit. He finna get caught now. His ass ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all. That's just with some hating shit right there. Cause I just was like, bruh, what the fuck? I said, ain't no way he just gonna walk straight. She just gonna walk straight
She
back there
walked
and catch.
straight up in there. And then I think that she doesn't really go to the barbershop.
Nope.
That may have been like her first time going, maybe, or just one of the few times she been.
Right. Cause I think ultimately he had basically set in stone like ain't no women supposed to be up in here for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was crazy.
she jumped Catherine with that bad hip.
Right. And then hold on, I gotta pull up my favorite quote because when she told him this, I was literally it definitely had like some funny parts of the book
Yeah.
that I just was like, yeah, that was funny. Oh yeah, when she told him, why would I want the gummy seconds and thirds after you done pass yourself around like your collection plates? I was like, damn, bro. That I said, you got to the root. You hit them in the soul with that one. Then she,
See, and
yeah,
my quotes are more like not deep, but they more serious. But she was funny. Priscilla was funny to me.
most definitely. She was just a fed up. She was a fed up black woman. You know what I'm saying?
Like she had a smart mouth. She wasn't saying it out loud all the time, but she had a smart mouth.
Most definitely. So, if this was a movie or a TV series, who would you want to see playing the main characters in Dominion?
So for Diamond, I did Kiki Lane. She played in Bill Street Could Talk, or Lovey Simone, the girl who played in Forever.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Okay,
I
then
like
for
that.
Priscilla, I did Ingenue Ellis Taylor. She played in Lovecraft Country. She was the mother in Lovecraft Country, and she played in the Book of Negroes. She went to Tougaloo, I believe. Um, for Manny, I picked Daniel Ezra or Spence Moore the second. They both played in All American.
Hold on. You said Daniel Ezra.
Yeah, or Spence Moore the second.
So
Cause
you
I
gonna
needed
make so
somebody
you
who
gonna make that
played
nigga play
football.
football?
I needed somebody who played football before.
You gonna make that nigga be bad at football again?
And then for Sabre, I did Courtney B. Vance, Angela
Courtney.
Bassett husband.
Okay. I feel like he ain't. You know what? I feel like he ain't debonair enough to play that character.
Man,
That's
Courtney
your
B.
opinion, though.
Vance.
I
Courtney
feel
B.
like the
Vance
pastor
slick.
got to be this. I shit. Like I feel like the pastor got to be like this. Like he got to be a little older, but at the same time, he got to be like this nigga that women consider fine. Like soon as he walk in, women.
But it ain't even fine. It's the power that comes
Yeah,
with
you right.
being the pastor. A pastor ain't always got to be fine.
You right.
The
Right.
women see the power, or they hold them on that pedestal, and they like it's their status. They want that.
Yeah, you right though, because I think he was described as like not not that he was ugly, but he was more of a dominant presence that
Yeah.
people gravitated towards strictly because of
Hmm.
who he was. Um, for my characters, I actually since I saw Lori Harvey play in Reasonable Doubt,
Reasonable doubt.
I would like to see her play somebody like Diamond, somebody that's like,
Man.
hey, real talk though. I would like to see her play that because Diamond character is like, even though she's street smart, she real naive for a very long time.
You giving Lori too much credit.
Hey, I might be, but you know what I'm saying. And then, but this the one I would love to see Journey Smollett play Priscilla. I think she would kill that shit.
I
She
can
got
see
a
that
smart
because
mouth.
she does period pieces really well.
Exactly, and she got a smart mouth. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I would like to see that. I couldn't really pick nobody for Wonderboy in the preacher though. But Daniel Ezra, that's funny. That'll
I
be
needed
funny.
somebody who's played football in a show before.
But you know what? I don't think he could play like rapist, sexual assault type of person. I don't see that character in him.
You saying personally he wouldn't do it because his moral compass, or you just don't
Well,
see him doing
yeah,
it?
I just don't. I don't see you going from playing Spencer to a person that can be like rapey. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see it.
Yeah,
Now
he
I
not
did,
performing the action. It's alleged.
but you know who I did think about? I did think about one. I can't remember his name, but the guy that played Drew in Power Book 2.
No,
Hey, and the reason why I say that is because you done seen him beat people ass on TV.
no, I
Hey,
can't
real
see
talk.
that.
You done seen him. He done been aggressive on TV, and he was gay. And you know the thing is like even with that scene where Wonderboy had a kiss or whatever. To
Hmm.
me, that shit happened so subtly, suddenly, and out of the blue that it kind of threw me for a loop.
It threw me for a loop too, because I was like,
And
where did it come from?
exactly. So I felt like that needed backstory.
Yeah,
Cause it literally happened and it was like out of there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that part needed backstory. So
yeah.
um what's your book rating for Dominion? What you give it?
Um, because I didn't like the way Manny's story ended, I'm gonna deduct the 0.5, but I say 4.5 stars.
I give it a 4 out of 5. I didn't like the way it ended either. I feel like, he needed a little bit more, I don't know, depth, and he needed the ability to be able to kind of live with the things that he had done rather
Mhm.
than have a untimely demise like that. Um,
Yeah,
I do enjoy the fact that the book had its funny moments. The women were able to reach a level of independence and freedom. I love the fact that it's a Mississippi story, but you
mhm.
can literally put this in most rural areas, most deep South areas in the Southeast for sure. And a lot of people can gravitate towards this book because it's a story that's just Bible Belt central.
Right. And I like the book cover. There was a quote in the book where it said Eve ate the apple, so Priscilla would have to eat the snake. And I
Mm.
feel like the book cover reflected that.
Yeah, I love the fact that there's little tidbits here and there about biblical stuff.
Yeah,
Wonder Boy's name is Emanuel, and Emanuel is Jesus' name as well. It's another name for Jesus, and I thought that was pretty cool because you know Jesus is perfection. So for him, it just goes to show the hypocrisy, the central element of hypocrisy throughout the book. This guy,
right.
this guy name is Wonderboy. As a nickname, his name is Emmanuel, another name for Jesus, but yet he disrespecting women, raping them.
You're a demon.
Yeah, he a demon. He killing, you know. And I just thought that she put little eggs throughout the book that was just like, yeah, this is Deep South book. I know my Bible, and I put it together in a fictional novel that I feel like can appeal to a lot of people. So most
Mhm.
definitely, I think this book is a must read. I give it 4 out of 5 stars, and most definitely I would recommend it to a friend.
Yeah, there's a quote that was in the book that Diamond said. She was like, God was not solid. He had no shape, no form, nothing but words from a long ass time ago, and he never showed up regardless that I knew of. I deduced that he was neither solid nor real nor believable. And that just made me think about most people throughout their spiritual journey at some time in their lives, they're going to question God. And most of the time it's because of trauma, some type of trauma they've experienced. And because of the way she grew up, her mama abandoned her. She didn't have a relationship with her daddy. She had lost touch with all of her siblings except for one, and he was dead. And so then the stuff that was going on with Manny is kind of like, I can't catch a break. Is God even real? And then her adoptive mother was good to her, but she felt like, that wasn't enough.
Mm,
So in my head, it's kind of like she's going to church, but at this point in her life, she don't even believe God is real. She going for Manny. She not going for the right reasons. So I
mm.
thought that was a good quote.
Yeah, I think she really did a dope job of Addie Citchens really did a dope job of writing this book, and it got a bunch of layers, and it often gives to not even just the hypocrisy of this family, but the hypocrisy of the Bible Belt as a whole.
Yeah,
And that's why I like it a lot, because, and I think more novels should be written about this, because it's literally a thing. Like the hypocrisy of the Bible Belt has been not only just in this book, like compliant with putting people on pedestals that shouldn't be on pedestals. It's been compliant with turning their head against like slavery, against abuse, against like all type of forms of like violence, you
and
know what I'm saying,
trauma.
and trauma. And I think not only is this just, once again just a look at this family, it's a look at the Bible Belt as a whole. Like you can look at the country right now, and people are literally uh using the Bible to commit crimes against people. People using the Bible to say this isn't right, this isn't right, instead of
To
just loving
justify
each other.
their actions.
Exactly. So shout out to her for basically writing a book that really points out the hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I
so
really enjoyed it.
so we gonna end this off. Been dope having you on again. If you want to check out Dominion by Addie Citchens, we're gonna be posting this on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, and peace out, y'all.
Peace out.